My name is Janet. I'm from West Palm Beach, Florida, and I'm 45 years old. While I was writing in the book, Tears to Triumph, I had a lot of emotions that came up and actually breakdowns where I just didn't want to do anything. And I knew my story would help so many other people. Just getting over that emotion and reliving it all again. But it's been very healing for me as I do share, and I know it's going to be able to help so many other different people too that maybe have gone through something very similar. At age 10, my parents divorced. At age 12, I got an alcoholic stepfather for the next 15 years. My real father was never really emotionally or physically available. And my stepfather was emotionally and sometimes physically abusive, which led me to feel unworthy. And then the unthinkable, I was raped in my early 20s by a church friend that I had trusted. By age 22, I became a licensed massage therapist, and by 23, I opened my first massage practice, which I poured myself into my people. God blessed my business. By age 38, here I am. I'm not married with no children, and I realized that I was getting my worth out of my business. So it was the summer of 2013, and I had been praying every night for God just to give me somebody to love and to be loved and to have the qualities that I was looking for. And so I was on my way to the Abaco, Bahamas to visit my mom, and I met a beautiful man in the airport. So he kind of caught my eye. He was very kind to this other passenger. He was filling out some paperwork, his immigration form, and we started to board the plane, and we were all kind of standing together. So we made some small talk, and then it was time to board the plane. So we got on. The plane was not full, so we could sit where we wanted. So he sat like in the aisle across from me because he knew he'd have a captive audience for the next 50 minutes. And so by the time we got off of the plane, the 50-minute plane ride, we realized we had a lot in common, and he had a house on the next island over for my mom. So that started a relationship that, I don't know, he was charming, he's charismatic. So the holidays rolled around. We had a wonderful time with his 3 grown children. With all this excitement and everything, getting to go back to the Bahamas and, really just surprising my mom and doing all kinds of interesting things. We wanted to have my 40th birthday there. So he says, let's start planning. We're gonna plan the party. So we got some of my closest friends and family, and we started planning for May. So in April, we went over, we got the house all spruced up, we're cleaning, we're painting and everything, and ready for our guests. And March 1st of 2014, I had a call from a friend that one of my very good friends had committed suicide. And so I had God, to rely on God, but I also had my boyfriend that was a beautiful support system at this time. So picking up our pieces, we're getting ourselves prepared. So in April, we went and spruced up the place, and then we were really literally days away from leaving on our trip for my 40th birthday, and I was at work and I got a phone call. And it was something I never expected. He said, Greg took his life today. But he actually was alive. The rescue got there. And the message was, if you want to see him, come on down. So I don't know, by the grace of God, he gave me the strength to get in my car and drive an hour so I could say my final goodbyes. And I got into the hospital. It was like I floated through there, right up to ICU, where I was greeted by his 3 grown children. And after a long embrace, a family friend had escorted me down the hall and into his room, where I could hear the sounds of the beeping and noises, and there he lays. And as I had my hand on his chest and just feeling his heart and his breath, all I could say was, I love you, I love you. You're beautiful, I love you. I met Josie at another event, some healthy living event, and Josie's very friendly, outgoing, and invites, so she invited me to Life Group, and where I met Kenny and Kimberly. Kimberly was starting Women World Leaders, and she had asked me to be on the leadership team. She had asked me to pray about being on the leadership team. So that community of women is more than I even thought it would be for me, just giving back to me and pouring in. And just seeing what God's doing in my life and other women around me is priceless. And me just being a vessel of saying yes. Today, I know I am loved. I am the daughter of the King. I just want to share that God's unfailing love is always there. He's walked me through this journey of pain, healing, and then now triumph.